creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
So take me out in style. Yeah, you. Yeah, just take me out in style. Oh, if you're gonna take me out in style.
It's Friday, April 5th, 2019, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studios on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
Joining us from Nashville, Tennessee, our senior editor, Tyler Huckabee.
Hey, everybody.
And sitting in for the whole show today, a guest celebrity cast member, Liz Forkin Bohannon. Welcome.
Happy to be here, guys.
From Portland, Oregon. Okay, before we get to know Liz and I tell you about what's coming up on the show, I want to tell you that today's episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a landing page, a beautiful gallery, a professional blog, or an online store, it's all included with your Squarespace website. Creating your site with Squarespace is a simple, intuitive process. You can add and arrange your content and features with the click of a mouse. You can even design a best-in-class online store with Squarespace's award-winning templates, customizable settings, and more, all without a single plugin. From nationally recognized brands to your favorite local shops, Squarespace is trusted by hundreds of thousands of savvy shop owners around the world, including all the tools you need to track inventory, process orders, and send custom emails with one intuitive interface. Squarespace Commerce allows you to understand every aspect of your business. Go to squarespace.com/relevant for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your website, use the offer code RELEVANT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Squarespace, set your website apart. Well, like I said, joining us for the whole show today is Liz Forkin Bohannon from Portland, Oregon. She is an entrepreneur. She's a speaker. She's a podcaster. She's founder of Seiko Designs, a fashion brand started to enable high-potential, talented young women in Uganda to continue on to college. Welcome.
Wow,
to the show.
Cameron,
Look at me.
that was slick. That was good. I should take you on the road with me.
I'm a professional podcaster and hype man.
Hype man.
You're like, you know what? Do you guys watch Veep? It's like if Gary was also really well spoken. If you could be my Gary, that would be amazing.
Cannot separate Gary from being very poorly spoken in my mind. Yeah. This is a real clash of vibes.
So Relevant Podcast Network listeners might know Liz because she was a guest cast member on season 2 of the Love and Money podcast, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
And she is working on launching her own podcast coming up soon, TBD. She's also about to release her first book. First of all, tell us about the book, and then also tell us about Seiko Designs.
Okay, well, I'll tell you about Seiko first because the book kind of alludes. So Seiko, as you mentioned, is a socially conscious fashion brand. I started Seiko almost our 10-year birthday is this summer, which is pretty wild. It's also comes about 2 months after my 10-year wedding anniversary. So you can do some math and envision what the first year of our marriage was like. We launched a company and got married within about 3 months of one another. I would recommend it highly to any newlyweds for sure. So I started Seiko. I moved to Uganda when I was 22. I had a master's degree in journalism and wanted to be a human rights reporter, and moved to Uganda to learn more about the issues that were facing women and girls living in extreme poverty. And really long story short, ended up meeting some incredible young women in between high school and university that tested into college but couldn't afford to go. And so my new kind of mission in life became figuring out a way to bridge the gap between high school and university for these young women. And I started a charity and then realized I couldn't start a charity and that we need to be investing in mutually beneficial marketplace solutions to solve some of the world's most interesting problems. Started a chicken farm that failed and then invented a pair of strappy sandals, and that miraculously kind of worked. And 10 years later, we are a full-on women's lifestyle fashion brand. So we sell the product through a network of female entrepreneurs here in the U.S. that enable women in East Africa and around the globe to go on to school and pursue their dreams. And that's Seiko.
Wow.
Liz, I feel like I just got a 90-second TED Talk, and it was awesome. Like, that was very good. I'm going to guess this is the first time you've kind of given the elevator pitch because that was very good.
No, that was so on the fly, and I've never said any of that before. Just only the freshest material for you guys and the relevant podcast.
Can I do a quick
listeners.
follow-up question? Liz, you said something in there that I'm just really curious about. Let's go back to the failed chicken farm really fast. I know it's a minor point. I know it's an asterisk, but it seems like kind of an important one. And I just want to hear at what point you realized this is not happening. This isn't working.
What was the point where you said this has failed? Did they all die? Did they get out? Like what happened?
Okay, this is a great question. I would love to tell you that there were no chickens harmed in the making of this life story. Okay, so there were two things. One is the more boring answer that it just economically didn't make sense. It was like, to do agriculture, you kind of have to do it at a certain scale. I was bootstrapping this company. I had 3 women that I had promised to help kind of bridge this gap between high school and university. And the math just didn't work out. The second thing is that I woke up I was probably, I don't know how long I worked on it for, a couple months, maybe 6 weeks. And literally every morning that I woke up, I dreaded my existence. I was just like, there was like nothing in me. You guys, I have just come to realize, I don't know how much you've been like up close and personal with chickens. It's a love. You either love it or you hate it. And they wig me the freak out. They're just gross. And they're like the very unsettling head movement.
Yeah.
It's so unpleasant. So the funny thing is I now live in Portland, Oregon, and I live on an urban commune. That's a whole different story. That's a little bit of a strong word, but we joke and say that's what it is. And of course, because we live on a Portland.
Wait. Is it an apartment complex? And because you're in Portland, you guys call it an urban commune?
Exactly.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, we own property with our friends, and we bought one kind of single family unit or piece of property, and then we built 3 skinny houses on the one property, and so we share all that. And because we're in Portland and we're living in an urban commune, of course we have to have chickens, and they're like were the bane of my existence. It was like I would wake up every morning and hear these chickens, and it just was like this painful reminder of my failures. You know, they would be like bark, 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 my failure, and then they all died. And the joke in our community is that I slowly, one by one, killed off all of the
chickens.
How
you just breezed over it. They all died mysteriously.
You really yada that died.
Over like years, I know I'm going to get some angry people that like are mad about me not being nice about animals. But one morning this was completely on accident. We also have a dog, and I let the dog accidentally into the chicken pen, and it was bad. It was bad. And it was like 5:30 in the morning, and I'm like screaming bloody murder because I'm like, I need someone to come help me save the chickens. But in my head, I'm like, kind of sad for the chickens, but I'm really sad for myself. I'm like, no one will believe that this is an accident. You can't make so many jokes about killing the commune chickens and then be the one that lets the dog into the pen.
You've got motive, you had means, you had the opportunity. It doesn't look good for you, Liz.
It does not look good.
Two observations about this first. One is Failed Chicken Farm is a great band name, and I call it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be like an avant-garde indie rock band, Failed Chicken Farm. I think I told the story before. My buddy, he had the same impulse, Liz. He was going to build a chicken coop in his backyard, and he spent all his money on this like fancy chicken house, and he bought chickens and feed and all that. And I was like, dude, why are you doing this? He's like, dude, he's got like 4 kids, and he's like, think about in the long run how much I'm going to save on eggs. And I'm like, dude, eggs are super cheap. How much is a dozen eggs? Like $3? Yeah,
so cheap.
Yeah. So I mean, we're talking decades of chicken farm ownership before you start seeing return on this. Week 1, he goes out there he's like, thank God I got up the earliest, because I looked in the backyard and it was like someone had like a box truck full of feather pillows exploded in my backyard. He's like, there was nothing but feathers everywhere. Evidently, like a weasel or a fox or something got back there and just slaughtered all of them. He said it was just a massacre. He's never seen anything like it. And that was literally a week after owning the chicken. So I don't think you're alone in your hatred of that venture, Liz.
Yeah, I feel alone, but I think that we're just a silent majority. Like, I think that people in our country don't feel the freedom to be honest about their feelings of chickens, especially not in Portland, Oregon. Are you kidding me? I can't admit that I don't want chickens. That puts me on like a Portland terrorist watch list. These are not emotions that I am allowed to express freely in my community. So instead, I guess I'm just doing it on a national platform, which seems dangerous to me and my family.
Is a backyard chicken the official bird of the state of Oregon? Because I feel like it should be. If it's not.
Yeah.
It should be. It's either that or front yard goat. That's a big trend here.
Like to
Seriously,
do like to handle like the.
You want to know?
Like
Do you want to know
lawn.
what I'm doing in a couple weekends with some girlfriends? I'm just confirming all of your stereotypes about Portland right now. Don't worry, we're gonna do goat yoga. This is where you go do yoga and goats wander around while you yoga. This is a thing. We'll pay good money to do this.
I've seen these videos. They like stand on you while you're doing your you're in your downward dog, and they can they stand on your butt, and
this is the thing. You're exactly right.
We have a great show coming up for you today. Joining us later, Taraji P. Henson joins us. She stars as Cookie Lion in the TV hit Empire, as well as films like Hidden Figures, Hustle and Flow. She also stars in the new movie, The Best of Enemies, that tells the true story of civil rights activist Ann Atwater. It releases today. And to celebrate the release of the movie, she is joining us on today's podcast. So it's pretty exciting.
That's amazing.
Liz, before we move on to the hot list, I have a couple of leftover table topics cards here in front of me from last week's podcast, and I'd like to lob them to you to get to know you a little bit better. Okay.
They all involve goat yoga.
Liz Forkin Bohannon, table topic number 1. How do you measure success?
Oh my gosh. Start out with something a little bit more serious, will you? Okay. How do I measure success?
Yeah.
I believe deep in the kind of most core part of my gut that every human is created on purpose and for purpose. And I think success is about living a life that will push you closer to becoming more of who you were created to be.
There you go. Come on now. Preach. Liz Forkin Bohannon, what habit of yours needs to change ASAP?
Oh, what habit?
Yeah.
Oh, probably something hygiene related. I won't get into details. I mean, I should probably wash my hair more.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, especially if you're going to be rolling around in the dirt with goats around.
Yeah.
That seems, It seems like hygiene is not the first thing you want to go if goat yoga is part of the,
the mix. Yeah. Liz Forkin Bohannon, do others perceive you differently than you are? Do others?
Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. I think yes. I do not find myself to be the most self-aware person. It's an interesting thing. It's something that not being self-aware has incredible benefits in your life. And then it also has disadvantages.
How so?
So it's an interesting thing that I'm like, I actually don't want to get rid of completely, because I can be a little bit unaware of things and how people are perceiving me, that it actually creates a sense of freedom that I think some other people don't experience, that it's like, I can kind of just be who I am. It's like people are like, aren't you afraid of making people mad? Or aren't you afraid of this? And I'm like, I actually just have such selective perception of what's going on around me that, I don't know. I just don't find myself to be very aware of those things. So it creates a lot of freedom. However, there have been times in my life where someone will perceive me in a specific way that feels very different than how I felt in the moment. And that never feels good, where you're like, no, that actually wasn't what I was trying to communicate.
Right.
So, I do think that there's a little bit of a difference between how I'm perceived and sometimes my intentions in a situation.
Yeah. Okay. Liz Bohannon, if you're feeling low, what's your trick to feeling better? What's your trick?
Oh my gosh, this is like so cliche and probably not interesting, but my kids, my babies, I just feel like there is just turning off my phone getting really up close, like just hanging out with my kids, going to a park. I have yet to experience something where that is not the centering anecdote of just like, this is life and this is like what matters. And I want to be totally present right here in this moment. And specifically, I mean, my kids just have this magical ability to kind of bring me back to the present and center me. And it's so fun.
Liz, that was a beautiful answer. We also would have accepted just the feeling of letting a dog run loose through the urban communes and just really letting him
Murdering
do what you've always wanted to do.
Just
and just sit
letting-
there and watch.
Massacre.
Just letting nature run its course, just freeing nature
As
to
God
do its
intended
thing.
it.
Dogs do what they were created to do.
Helping my dog feel its true purpose and calling in life and do what it was
Playing a-
created to do.
Playing a little bit of Phil Collins, Circle of Life. Isn't that Phil Collins in Lion King? As I let the dogs murder the chickens. It's a circle
Powerful.
of life.
Elton
for some
John,
reason,
but yes.
I picture you like in the back of a town car with the windows rolled down, like just watching at a distance, and you see the dog walk in the chicken coop, and you see like the Tasmanian devil cloud of feathers and dirt just rolling, and you look at the driver and you're like, "It's done. Let's go." And then
it closes just with a shot of me in like the rearview mirror, just like, and then the horizon shot of me driving off into the distance.
The
Wow,
perfect crime.
I am. This is becoming quite maniacal.
Liz Fork and Bohannon, and we know you grew up in Missouri, right?
Mhm.
Missouri. Final question. Who was your nemesis in school?
Oh my gosh, who is my nemesis?
And let's call them right now.
That would be okay. There were a few people who okay, so this is a story that I just remembered. There was a boy in my class. This was actually a really I don't know if I would call him my nemesis, but in my like own personal narrative, he definitely is the only person I can think of from middle school who has a part. When I was in 7th grade, this boy, I was like leading our class lip sync, which was a big deal when you're a 7th grader.
Big deal in Missouri.
And in front of all of my friends and like everybody in the class, he called me a feminazi. And that
wow.
Like,
became
what grade was
like
this?
That's very,
This
What
was
grade
7th
was this?
grade.
it's very political.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
very
very way.
political.
Well read, like Tucker
Super
Carlson.
political.
Was
I was
that
going to
who
say, you went to school with a young Tucker Carlson? Like, he was... so my nemesis, the Fox
his name
News
was Tucker
personality.
Tarleson. And anyway, the nickname like kind of stuck. And it became this like joke. And like every time that I would like speak up or be loud or be quote unquote bossy, someone would be like, "Oh, the feminazi's here." And it was like pretty formative for me. It was like the thing that I think at such an early age, I was like, one, what does that even mean? When you're like somebody calls you something and you don't know what it means and you're 13, you obviously pretend like you do. And then you go home and you try to figure it out. So like feminazi, like what does that even mean? And it really sent me into this kind of like spiral of thinking about like gender and power and like, why is it that when I like speak up and I'm loud and I'm like leading a group of people, I'm being like shamed and called this super intense name. But yet when this guy does the same thing, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, he's such a leader. Look at him." And that was really formative to me. And I would credit probably this kid with kind of sending me on a path of interest and curiosity that was actually pretty formative. But at the time, I just hated him. I thought he was awful and I dreaded seeing him in the hallway. And maybe I could call him a nemesis.
I was going to say, it sounds like does he work in the current White House administration? It sounds like
bright future for this young man.
There may be some familial connection.
That is such an interesting story to me. I mean, the
really
fact that
is.
like this kid was threatened by your strength, so he tried to like, elevate himself by knocking you down. There's a whole thing there. But like the fact that you actually and subconsciously or maybe consciously embraced it and saying, "No, I am a strong female and I'm not going to let you put me in my place or whatever." And now you are, I mean, look at your life story since then. I mean, you have achieved and created and led and you're enacting change and changing lives. And I mean, I don't know. Like, it's really cool. I mean, it's funny that it goes back to that, and that moment was right there, top of mind, right under the surface.
Maybe I should call him and thank him. Do you know what I actually did? This may be too graphic for the internet. I don't know if I can say this out loud. You guys will edit it if you can't. Okay. I got a group of, so he was, credited with giving me this nickname. And this was like a few years later, because this happened in middle school. And then in high school, he was still a little butt face. So,
whoa. Hey, we punch up. They go low, we go high, Liz. Butt face.
No, not in my world. If they go low, I
obscene.
get angry. I got a group of girlfriends together. We could drive at the time. We went to Sam's Club and bought like 10 packs of these, like those like massive old school maxi pads, the ones that are like 3 inches thick. And bulk ketchup, and basically vandalized his house with. And this was my if you want to talk about, you want to shame me for being a woman, and it felt like a very. I had a streak of vindictive vandalism in my history. A few bullies also kind of went after my sister when she was in middle school, and may have gotten similar treatment. So anyway, that was my way of dealing with hard things.
This wasn't a fun prank. This wasn't a we're in a prank war. This was an actual. This was vengeance.
Liz,
this was justice.
Here's why I appreciate it.
Hangover. I feel like I should not have told that story. It's very weird.
You've given a lot ideas to a lot of people just now. But first of all, I love this interesting part of you that you had a streak of vindictive vandalism, which started in high school and up until recently when you released a dog in the chicken coop that you didn't like. I mean, vindictive vandalism seems to be a through line in your life story.
The story that you could tell against me in the court of law against the chickens is only getting stronger. Here's the thing, though, to your point, about how influential it was in my life, though, Cameron, so not to be all pop culture on us, but I'm going to go into the Enneagram. So I'm an 8 on the Enneagram. So I'm a challenger.
Challenger. Sure.
So,
are you sure?
Just kidding. I'm just
Richard Rohr on here. Can we get a confirm? I don't know about that.
2 out of you. Yeah.
But it makes me think that experience elicited, I wanted to challenge this, and specifically this guy who kind of represented this voice. But I thought often throughout that, I know when I felt shame, it inspired me to kind of be, to kind of dig into that and to want to challenge it. But I know that that's not how a lot of people operate. And it was really powerful. It's been a driving force in my life. That it's how many 12-year-old girls get publicly humiliated and then their reaction is just to retreat. Don't speak up again. Don't risk humiliation again. It's not worth it. And so that does feel it. There's a part of me that kind of feels for whatever reason, God created me with this kind of odd spirit. And it feels imperative to me that it's I don't ignore that part of who I was created to be, because I know that a lot of people don't naturally react in that way. And it does feel, it feels like there's kind of a sense of responsibility in that. Because I think about the amount of probably 12-year-old girls that had a really similar experience, but that caused kind of an opposite reaction. And that feels really significant to me.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
And you said you kind of stood up for your sister when she was bullied in middle school, and I'm not going to let. That's interesting, and even the work you're doing, standing in the gap for the young women in Uganda, that you're I'm going to help. Your economic situation or your culture, or your situation isn't allowing you to thrive. I will stand up and help you thrive. It's you have this through line of standing up to the oppressive forces in your life, you know what I mean? Or that are out there. Interesting.
And I think that's why Enneagram was really enlightening for me, is just recognizing how 8s are they're not only incredibly attuned to power and power dynamics and recognizing what the power dynamics are, but then it's my trigger is seeing power abused in any capacity. So whether that's with, against my 9-year-old sister, whether, or it's more systematically globally on a policy level about, injustice and lack of opportunity for women and girls globally. It doesn't really matter what the scale is. I have come to know in myself that is like a massive trigger for me when I see a power imbalance. And then when I see power being abused, it's just like, it's a very gut, like visceral reaction.
Yeah.
That luckily 10 or 20 years later, I've refined a little bit. So I'm happy to say I'm no longer vandalizing people's homes with maxi pads. So that feels like a step in the right direction.
She's not doing vindictive vandalism. She's just doing random vandalism.
Now it's more just
random.
Yeah. That's just
vindictive.
Now
I say vigilante justice.
I just have like a little wheel with everybody that I know on it that I just spin on a weekly basis, and it's much more free spirited these days.
Do you know whatever happened to your bully? I'm assuming prison. I'm assuming he's in prison. I'm assuming you framed him and he's behind bars.
The White House, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Oval Office.
No, I actually looked him up on Facebook because I talk about the story in my book. And I tried to find him on Facebook, and shockingly, I actually couldn't. So I have no context.
Dead.
I really wanted to use his name in the book,
dead.
and then my publishers were like, "No, you can't do that." So I had to use a fake name. But
I recently looked up my old bully on Facebook. I was just curious. I think we were talking about on the opposite the other day, like who was your childhood nemesis? And I looked up my bully, thinking that all those old like stories about how they end up like miserable while you end up successful are true. Looks like he's doing really well. Looks really happy. Pretty
bummer.
Wife, nice kids. Looks like he's got a really rewarding job. Looks like he's doing great.
He's like a banker or something, wealthy banker with lots of sports cars and boats
super
and
happy
stuff.
and content with his life. I don't know. As far as I can tell on Facebook, he's doing just
a real
fine.
drag. Just a real drag.
maybe I'm glad I couldn't find my guy.
All right. Well, it was fun getting to know Liz. Stay tuned. Coming up next, the hot list. Listening to Fits in the Tantrums. Song is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is how I test my mic level. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Foster the People with Style. Okay, it is time for
The hot list. The hot list. It's sizzling.
Oh man, I'm still not comfortable with that.
I know the items we're talking about this week in the hot list, and that's not the only time Yacht Rock is going to come up. So that's a little teaser.
Coming in number 5 this week on the hot list, Steph Curry, NBA superstar Steph Curry, is bringing competitive mini golf to television. Yes. He's continuing his second career as a Hollywood mogul and is teaming up with ABC for a new show called Holy Moly, which will feature mini golf enthusiasts squaring off to win $25,000. Steph's going to executive produce the show through his company Unanimous Media, which he launched to create faith-based and family-friendly television shows and movies based in the world of sports. He also served as its resident golf pro on the show. Unanimous co-founder Jaron Smith told Variety this week, "We aim to use entertainment as a vehicle to bring families together, and this show will surely bring laughter and enjoyment to households around the country." In explaining his vision for Unanimous, Steph told Variety, "It's not about me hitting people over the head with a Bible and telling them they have to believe a certain thing or think a certain way. I don't mind being called corny. I'm comfortable with who I am." Steph Curry, everybody.
See, here's what I'm curious about. He says that competitive mini golf is going to bring families together. In my experience, it rips families apart. I come from a very competitive family, and that mini golf course, it's every person in the family is on their own team. And we put a couple dollars on every hole. At the end of it, no one's talking to anybody. It's a disaster every time. I want to see how he's going to bring this together as a unifying force. Also, I want to be on this show very, very bad. Like, this seems like there's so many of these reality shows are so high stress. Survivor, they're standing on poles for like 4 days. Liz, you were on Shark Tank one time, having to look across.
So stressful.
Yeah.
So stressful. I would so much rather play mini golf.
I mean, imagine if there's some sort of hybrid between competitive mini golf and Shark Tank. I mean, it's like if you get the hole-in-one, you get the funding. I don't know. It was just.
Liz, your jaw dropped. I saw when Cameron read this news. You looked very, very excited. Does mini golf hold a special place in your heart?
Well, Missouri. She grew up in Missouri.
Yeah.
That's all there is to do.
I guess that. Yeah.
No, stop it. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure who Steph Curry is, but I think he's a sports person.
He's
right.
one of the.
He is
Liz,
a sports
he's an
person.
athlete.
Liz
He's a basketball
Forkin-Bohannon.
player.
He is an NBA superstar. He's a multiple-time champion, scoring champion, MVP. He's one of the best basketball players in history.
Yeah.
Okay, Cameron, you need to be gentle because I'm revealing my true self, which is that I was like, as soon as you said Steph Curry, I was like, I think he's a sports person, and now I'm not going to be able to participate in this conversation. And then you said mini golf, and I was like, I'm back in the game. I'm back in the game. I know mini golf. I can be a part of this.
You seem like you have some thoughts
jaw
about
drop.
mini golf.
It was less about a passion for mini golf, but I've had my fair share of mini golf experiences, and it felt good to be a part of the gang again.
Yep. Coming in at number 4 this week on the hot list, Johnny Swim. Our friends Johnny Swim, they were on the cover of Relevant last fall. Abner's on the current episode of Unedited. Johnny Swim has a new song that released this week featuring a collaboration with Michael McDonald. The song's from their new album Moonlight, which comes out April 19th. So mark your calendars. And it has kind of like, I don't know, the king, we could all agree that Michael McDonald is the king of yacht rock. Would
Undisputed.
There's I don't even know who the prince would be.
Right. Abner, when he was talking to me on Unedited about the show or about the song, he was saying like he wrote the song. They wrote the song. They were in the studio and they're like, this hook. Can you imagine if like when they wrote it, they were like, I hear like Michael McDonald singing it. Wouldn't it be crazy if we get Michael McDonald? And then like sure enough, they were able to like track him down and he said yes. So here's a clip of Michael McDonald on the new Johnny Swim song, The Last Time. Here it is.
But I can't if it's for you. If it's for you. Oh, but I can't if it's for you. If it's for you. The bullet on your side, ain't no time to stop it. I'm gonna let it pass on through. If it's for you. Hold on if you got it. Ain't no time to top it. Let them make a fool of you.
Cameron, I like how you told that story because in my mind, Abner and Amanda are in the studio with like the recording engineer, and they were like, who would be awesome on the, to be guest vocals on this? So like Michael McDonald, and all of a sudden he just appears. Like he's like, did someone say Michael McDonald? If it's for you, and they're like, what? He even knows the song? He just appeared. Like it's just a magic thing.
And they're like, "Oh, the pizza's guy's here," and then they open the door.
No, boo! No, he's a legend. He's not ordering. He's not delivering pizza.
He answers the door. Did someone order a Michael McDonald?
Well, Moonlight drops on April 19th. You don't want to miss it. Another little nugget about the album is Abner and Amanda just celebrated their 10-year wedding anniversary. And as a present for her, Abner went in to the studio and wrote and recorded a song called Amanda. She knew nothing about it. And on their 10-year anniversary last week, he played it for her for the first time, and it's going to be on the album. It's an incredible song.
Oh, that's so sweet. That
Wow.
also gives me major anxiety about expectations. I hope my husband does not listen to this podcast.
Because you've got a 10-year coming up too, right?
It's right around the corner, and I don't feel great about now having that lodged into my head because that's awesome.
Well, if you start speculating about a Michael McDonald song, he might just drop in out of
Here's
nowhere.
all you need to do.
Might
Here's
just.
all you need to do. You're like, for the anniversary this year, I got you a special performance by Michael McDonald. And you just look around and it's like, okay, he's supposed to appear. Like I said his name in the context of music. If it's for you. Where is he?
Can you
Michael.
imagine if you could like hire Michael McDonald to do like those singing telegram things? That'd be pretty cool. Having him show up at the house, do a little.
See, that's what I was going for with the surprise pizza delivery?
But
Same thing. You open the door thinking you're going to get one thing, and then, oh my gosh, it's something totally unexpected.
It's the
Kind of
it's
same
the
thing.
yacht
It'd
Minus
be
the
cool if
pizza.
it was both too. Like if
And pizza makes everything better. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you walk into a room with a pizza, it's
Right.
even better than if you didn't have one.
That is true. All right.
Very true.
Right?
All right. Coming in at number 3 this week on the hot list, a prayer by Virginia Tech basketball coach Buzz Williams went viral. First of all, that's a pretty cool first name, Buzz.
It's a cool name in general. Buzz Williams. Nice to meet you. You know,
Virginia Tech lost to Duke during the NCAA March Madness tournament in a heartbreaking fashion when they missed a layup at the buzzer, which would have won the game for them. In the locker room after the game, Coach Williams and the players laid their hands on the team's 3 seniors and prayed for more than 6 minutes. He not only encouraged each of the seniors, he also passionately prayed for them as they prepare for the next season of life. Here's a clip of the prayer. It went viral.
Thank you for the 4 years he's been with us. Thank you for his mom and how she supported him. Thank you that he was in our first recruiting class and believed in us when there was nothing to believe. God, I pray that you're giving great peace on all the decisions that are coming his way in the next 7 months. Pray that you would surround him with people that have wisdom, people that he can trust. God, I pray that you'd allow him to process all of the different choices and that you would give him comfort that his decision is the right one.
man, I watched that whole video. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little choked up. It reminded me of the old hot seat. Did you guys ever do the hot seat when you were like in youth group or like Bible study? We're like, all right, you
I'm
sit
not
in the
familiar.
chair in the middle. Everyone's gonna lay your hands on and say a prayer, and you're just bawling. You're about to graduate high school. And you got all your friends praying for you. Like, oh God, oh thank you. That's how this was for these 3 seniors. I got a little choked up. Good for Buzz Williams, turning a sad loss into a pretty touching video there.
It's cool.
Yeah. All right, coming in number 2 on the hot list this week, Kanye West announced he's going to host a Sunday service Easter morning at Coachella. He was reportedly in talks to headline the festival, but backed out over a dispute about staging. However, the festival's second weekend falls on Easter Sunday, and to mark the holiday, Kanye is going to host one of his gatherings that have featured preaching, gospel-inspired performances, and prayer, which up until now have been invite only. I don't know if you recall, but last year at Coachella, Justin Bieber made a surprise appearance during a Sunday morning service where he led worship at a church home event at the festival. So look at Coachella.
Yeah,
You introducing that slice, I went through a range of emotions because it started Kanye West, and I was like, oh, this could go any direction, and anything's possible now. It's hosting a Sunday morning, one of his Sunday morning things, Easter service. Oh, that's kind of cool at Coachella, and then I'm back, and this could go any direction. I don't know what's this could look like a lot of things right now.
I'm pretty sure like Lauren Daigle's playing all the festivals this year. So like if she's there, I want to see her come out with Kanye
and Kanye do a little collab.
Exactly. Yeah. It could happen.
Cool.
Stranger things have happened.
I've enjoyed the clips, honestly, that I've seen of Kanye's Sunday service. I think they look like a really good time. Everybody seems like they're having fun, and the music is good. The worship seems genuine, so I'm not opposed to the Sunday services at all. I just know that Kanye's. You just never know what you're going to get with Kanye. It's a mystery package.
Yeah.
Mystery package.
The only thing that would make that Sunday service at Coachella better is if right in the middle of the service, Kanye is like, and now my very special guest, who he has not prepared at all, Michael McDonald.
Waiting for you.
And what? Heads just explode everywhere.
This is
Nobody
going
at
out to
Coachella knows who
Liz
it is.
Fork and Bohannon's husband and the celebration of their 10-year anniversary today.
Yes. Great. Now my job is done. That's all I needed.
All right, coming in at number 1 this week on the hot list, Lecrae had some moving thoughts this week in the wake of the death of Nipsey Hussle. The LA-based rapper, activist, and entrepreneur was murdered outside of a store he owned last weekend. It's been all over the news and social media this week. Along with his music, Nipsey Hussle was known for his work within the community and was scheduled to meet with LAPD officials this week to discuss initiatives to combat gang violence. In an Instagram video, Lecrae encouraged his fans to continue work that Nipsey was passionate about and to invest in churches and communities affected by violence. Here's a clip.
So I hear about Nipsey last night, and this isn't my opportunity to insert myself in the story. You know, I think a lot of people just want to insert themselves in the narrative. And this is when I talk to him and whatever. It's about this man and his family and his ideals, and I want to see his ideals continue to thrive. You know, like when I stopped drinking alcohol, I started drinking sparkling water all the time because I needed a replacement. And a lot of us want to see the violence and whatnot eradicated from underserved communities, but we're not providing no replacements. We're not providing opportunities and jobs, hope, purpose, faith. And that's what we got to continue to do, y'all. We got to continue to invest in education, invest in churches, invest in job opportunities and entrepreneurship in our own communities. And so it breaks my heart to see Nipsey pass, but I know for a fact he will want this ideal and this vision to continue going, to continue pushing. So we got to pick up the mantle.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate those thoughts led by Lecrae. And two, like it shows the other side of him. In addition to being an artist, he is a really gifted like preacher and teacher. You know, just using the analogy he did there of, having to replace something bad with something good. You can't just take something bad away. You need to like fill in, kind of those, kind of holes in the community. And I appreciate his thoughts. And he's been doing a lot of speaking at like churches and different events. And I think he's really gifted at that. And that was some really powerful, concise thoughts in, the wake of a real tragedy.
There you go. All right. Well, that'll do it for
It's the hot list. The hot list. It's sizzling.
Waiting for you.
Michael McDonald, come on in.
All right, stay tuned. Up next, Taraji P. Henson joins us. You're listening to Grimes. The song is Pretty Dark. Well, Taraji P. Henson is an award-winning actress and best-selling author known for her roles in films like Hidden Figures, Hustle and Flow, and the starring role on the show Empire as Cookie. In her new film, The Best of Enemies, which releases today, she plays civil rights activist Ann Atwater, who helped desegregate schools in North Carolina in the 1970s, and whose unlikely friendships with a KKK leader named C.P. Ellis led to him leaving the racist organization and actually working alongside her. Our very own Tyler Daswick talked with Taraji about the film and the role that her personal faith plays in her career. Welcome, Tyler.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was fun talking to Taraji because she's been in so many different kinds of stuff. She's kind of been in these sort of like romantic thrillers, kind of Lifetime, daytime kind of stuff, but she's also been the star of action movies and these historical dramas like Hidden Figures, and she was in Curious Case of Benjamin Button. So her career has been really, really diverse. And I was curious how that diversity contributed to her outlook and perspective. So here's what she said.
I think I tap into things I didn't know about myself. I tap into how closely I pay attention. I people watch all the time, and I'm watching expressions, and I'm the person, the weirdo in the restaurant looking, and I'm trying to figure out, is that a first date? Are they newlyweds? Are they, look at their body language. That's me. So it amazes me how much of it sticks. Like when I'm in the moment, like I don't have a notebook where I go, ooh, I remember how I responded. I collect it all in my head. And then when it's time to use it, it just amazes me that it comes out so quick. Like, wow, I had that in the store bank. I didn't know. Huh.
The self-discovery side of acting is always fun for me to hear about. It's very like foo-foo theater, but it really does take people to headspaces they might not have otherwise.
I'm always people watching and trying to figure out what the story is, but I'm not an award-winning actress either,
right?
So I don't have anything to do with all this, but I definitely want to figure all of it out. You know what I mean?
I feel like I should have gone into acting if that's what it takes to really prepare, because I'm always looking at people. I'm like, okay, that woman over there, she's having a very this looks like a tough conversation with what appears to be her spouse. I think she just told him that she didn't get anything for the anniversary, and Michael McDonald is not coming. This is can't believe it. What drama?
I'm a little bummed because I actually ran into Taraji P. Henson in a restaurant recently, and she was scoping me out. I thought maybe she thought I'd be like really good in an upcoming role in a movie, or like that I could be that I could really make it in Hollywood. But now I just see she's preparing for her next role as a really basic white guy on a podcast.
So from there, I was curious if there was a specific role from Taraji's career that compelled her to think about faith. She's very open and open about being a Christian. So I was kind of looking for one part that she would connect to that, but she kind of threw me a curveball. Instead of naming one part,
I denounce everything.
She said all her roles actually push her in that direction. Here's the clip.
I'm a very spiritual person in life, period. I don't do anything without talking to God first, so that's just who I am. And definitely it's all in my work. I think all of my characters, I incorporate that in because all of my characters come from, a lot of them come from these desperate, traumatic places. So you need something to hold on to morally for the characters. And because I play a lot of morally correct characters, there has to be religion in there. You know what I mean? For those characters, for people to believe and trust in the characters,
Mm-hmm.
That was fun for me to hear about as a creative thinker, because so often you look at actors and actresses and they just go all into the role and they strip away all these judgments beforehand. But I thought it was really cool that she injects parts of herself into these performances.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also love that she's kind of going against the notion that it's, I don't know, the whole sacred secular divide, that it's like, hey, my role is to observe people and then as an artist, try to use my craft to elicit some sense of truth, then isn't it all kind of sacred and isn't it all spiritual because we're all kind of on that journey and path? And I love that she doesn't really differentiate between that. I think that's awesome.
Totally. That's such a great point. And I think for audiences, it presents an audience, someone they can latch onto in a stronger way than a character who just wants power or money or to save their kidnapped son or whatever. There's a little more.
Why are you
to
throwing
them.
Liam Neeson under the bus?
Wait, watch your head go to Liam
think that was a
Neeson.
Mel Gibson.
Halle
Give me back
Berry's
my
saved
son.
kidnapped kids.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But
hey, listen, even child kidnappers are Imago Dei, made in the image of God. However you want to portray them, that is a spiritual.
Even chicken killers, they're
all
vigilante vandals.
The worst monster society has to offer.
None of us are too far gone, you guys.
But I posed that difference to Taraji, that foundational difference, and she had a very cool response. Let's listen.
Acting is very spiritual because it's almost like a possession, like not in a bad way, not like the devil or demon or anything like that, but it's almost, I won't even say a possession. It's like you're letting these characters use your body as a vessel. You know what I mean? So that means you have to surrender all of your insecurities. You have to surrender and give over everything about you that makes you uncomfortable. And you literally have to surrender yourself to the truth of these characters.
Wow.
So that means you can't judge. You actually have to think like Jesus or Buddha. You can't judge. You have to love each and every one of the characters, because if you love them, then the audience will have empathy. If you love the character and if you make the character deep, but through loving, then the audience will be transitioned. They will have a transformation. They will have a cathartic moment because I love the character unconditionally.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Cool. That's
Like
a really
on the
interesting thought.
surface, this character just seems like someone who would let a dog loose in a chicken coop and just watch everything. But
Unsympathetic in every way.
If you really know the character, you realize she's hated chickens for a very long time. This was not an out of character. Like, this is deep.
And you really dig deep.
This is the first and last time Liz is going to join us on our show. She's like,
I'm
guys, I'm too busy.
feeling.
I'm too busy. Liz, that was great. You want to come on again? No. No, I did not.
That was a very profound
Sorry,
thought.
I'm still in therapy from the first time. It's fine. If you can schedule that after my. No, I think that's an amazing. I mean, the thought of acting kind of being this like ultimate act of empathy, I think is really powerful. It kind of makes me think about like, is there a truth that we could take even for those of us who will never be paid for our acting skills? Like, there's something about, I loved her notion about like being a vessel for creativity or a vessel for that like character. I think about that a lot kind of with creativity. And as an artist or as a worker, I feel very inspired and humbled and also empowered by this idea of like, I'm the vessel for this thing, for this creation, for this thing that needs to come into the world. I think oftentimes artists can get like, I don't know, we think it's all like it's so much about who we are and putting that out into the world. And then I think a lot of insecurity and ego and self-worth gets pulled into that. And I think if you can say like, I happen to be the vessel for this particular thing to come into the world, that is a very empowering and kind of motivating mentality for me. And it seems really reminiscent of the way that she thinks about acting and kind of bringing a character to life.
Absolutely. It reminded me of this quote I heard once from another actor that acting is the most loving job you can do because you have no choice but to walk in someone else's shoes. And so I posed that to Taraji, and I loved the way she responded. Here it is.
It's a real understanding of love because you have to understand these characters. And a lot of them are dark. You know, some of them are dark and some of them aren't morally correct. So you have to find humanity in them and the why so that then the audience can empathize. And that's in life, you know. That's how you change people's perspectives about a certain group of people.
That really comes through in the new movie, too, Best of Enemies. I had a chance to see it. Have you guys been following this movie?
Yeah. Sam Rockwell is in it as well, right?
Yeah, he's C.P. Ellis. He's the KKK leader in Durham, North Carolina, where the movie takes place. And he and Taraji's character, Ann Atwater, this local civil rights leader, they have to come together to lead essentially a committee deciding if the town is going to have integrated schools in the 1970s. And it's awesome. My kind of hot take coming out of this movie is I think it handles the racial conversation better than Green Book does.
Wow.
I think it's super good. I also love the way it integrates faith. The characters are all very rooted in faith, and those ideas are super present in the movie, but there's no like, you know, crazy come to Jesus moment. Mm-hmm. You just see how their faith informs their decision making. Actually, the second scene in the movie, we're like 3 minutes in at this point, is a KKK meeting, and Sam Rockwell leads the Klan in prayer. And it's presented very straightforward and matter-of-factly.
Right.
And it's kind of jarring, but it adds a layer of complexity that really benefits the movie. It's such an easy recommendation. I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. I like it when historical movies get it right, and then, you know, also get like the religion part of it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many times when it's like it's cartoonish almost. You know, it's like you can tell the filmmakers have never stepped foot inside of a church, and it's like,
totally.
Yeah, this didn't nail it. So it's really good to hear that they handle it nuanced in a nuanced way and handle it right.
Yeah, and hey, Taraji's awesome in it. She's really funny in it too, full of personality. So yeah, Best of Enemies. That's the recommendation for the weekend.
Well, there you go.
Awesome.
Well, many thanks to Taraji for joining us. Make sure to go check out Best of Enemies. The release is today. Thanks, Tyler.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
All right, stay tuned. Up next, we have we'll tell you what's going to happen when we get back from the break.
We don't cooperate. Tell them I never like the way all of them operate. I wanna separate. These days, man, I separate in the real from the fake.
Upside Down Spirituality by Chad Bird invites you to enter a world where failure is success, endings are beginnings, and freedom is found as we learn to submit. It may sound counterintuitive, but the truth is Christianity is not just a nicer version of the world we live in. It's a completely different, upside-down, backward faith. Chad Bird invites you to put your ambitions aside and embrace 9 specific failures in the areas of our personal lives, our relationships, and the church. With compelling examples from the Bible and today, Bird paints an enticing picture of the countercultural life God wants for us. Get your copy of Upside Down Spirituality by Chad Bird today, wherever books are sold.
Tell them I create more planner. For try get one up and they done Gordana. And what you know about Dan Gorgon? Me make your baby turn orphan. Oh,
You're listening to Burna Boy and DJ DS. The song is Darko. Okay, well, this is the part of the show where we do audience engagement, audience interaction. Listeners are participating. We've had Listener of the Week. We've had people call in. And a few weeks ago, we tested out a new thing, Ask the Cast. You guys tweeting us questions that then I go through and lob to the cast. I had a lot of fun doing it. I figured we'd do it again. You guys tweeted us at Relevant Podcast a bunch of questions for the cast this week. Here are some of them. You guys ready?
Born ready. Born ready. Are any of these questions Michael McDonald related? I would like to know.
None.
I'm a pro.
Then I'm not ready.
Don't even need to
I'm
look it
not
up.
ready. Those are the only kind of questions I'm prepared for.
All right. Taylor tweeted us and asked, cast, what do you think is the worst advice the church gives to young people? And then maybe what's the worst advice you've ever received?
Ooh, the worst advice.
That's like a legit question.
That's a great question. I don't know. There's a lot.
The worst advice.
We could be here all day.
The church gives to young people. I mean, I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's like advice, but I feel like a lot of times churches will conflate like what people do for work with like the entirety of their calling sometimes. I feel like a lot of people will like say, well, I'm only going to pursue this career because I feel called to this one thing. But they kind of like, for a lot of people, like I feel like they feel like their calling ends there, like, well, I'm called to be, whatever their profession happens to be. But, I feel like there's a tendency to conflate calling with career, and there certainly can be overlap, but I feel like it should be more like a Venn diagram than a perfect circle. And I feel like sometimes the church doesn't do the best job of like differentiating that. Do you guys think that's fair and accurate?
Oh, I think it's great. Yeah. I think it's really good.
Liz, what do you think is the worst advice the church tells young people?
Gosh,
I know it's a tough question.
There's a lot. I mean, I think that I don't think that the church does a great job of, specifically with young people. I think it's a very fear-based mentality about curiosity and encouraging curiosity and encouraging really honest question asking and about anything. And I think that what that does to kids, to young people is, and I remember feeling this way, that it was the subtext of that was, I'm saying that this is truth, but I feel so afraid about you asking a question that might lead you to a different conclusion that I'm going to dissuade you from asking a question. And then therefore the subtext is, I'm actually not totally sure that this is truth because I feel the need to like protect it. And so I think that kind of like fear-based mentality, as opposed to, I remember coming into adulthood and kind of meeting spiritual leaders who had just such a sense of confidence in who God was and just like who they were made to be, that confidence led to this sense of freedom, that it's like truth is going to reign. So like, and God made you to be creative and to ask questions and to kind of have this mind that works in a really interesting way. And I don't know, I think our youth could really benefit. I think we create a false dichotomy where it's like, you have to believe all of this hook, line, and sinker, or you're on the outside. I think creating kind of a third path for engagement would be amazing to see.
Yeah, that's good.
Lydia wrote in, this question is prime for Liz. Lydia wrote in, my roommate's cat tends to pee on everything in my apartment, from shoes to clothes. How do I cleverly get rid of the cat without my roommate knowing?
Phone it.
You guys, this is so bad. I just feel like my reputation
quote unquote, accidentally
spiraled
let a
in the
giant
last
violent
90
dog.
minutes. I didn't know how much damage I could do to myself.
Seiko
That
Design
literally,
said one.
Olivia is living my worst life. That's all I can say. I can't even give her advice because the amount of anxiety and like if that was my life, I would wake up with just existential dread every day. I can't even tell her how to move forward because that's how bad that sounds to me.
Yeah, I mean,
So
clearly
someone
she has
else
seen
needs
a
to
new
help
room.
Olivia out.
Just move out and move on with your life. Yeah, there's no fixing this situation.
There's no, we say that nothing is beyond redemption, but Olivia, you have found the situation.
Cats. Yeah, they're just
The
awful
roommate can be
creatures.
redeemed. The
Happy in
roommate
your
can go to
shoes.
heaven. I don't know about that cat.
That cat is a demon.
Ashley wrote in, asked the cast, is cereal a soup? Is cereal a soup?
I mean, I haven't thought of it in those terms, but now that I am, it's clearly cold soup. It's clearly delicious, delightful.
I don't
No.
think grain. I think when you get grain involved, you've moved out of the soup
Oh,
territory.
that's
Whoa, whoa,
weird.
whoa, whoa,
That's
whoa.
weird. You have
Noodles.
rice and soup? You
Yeah,
never heard of
rice,
gumbo?
chicken noodle soup has rice and noodles. There's a lot of grain in that soup.
Soup is mostly grain, Tyler.
Yeah.
I
What are you
think
talking
I
about?
don't think it
You
works.
guys
I don't
are
think it
all
works.
wrong.
And I think you need
Here's
broth,
why
too.
it's not a soup.
Oh.
It is not a soup because there are two entities that are standalone entities. Like you can eat cereal without milk.
Okay.
That makes it not a soup.
Okay. Yeah,
You can eat meatballs without soup, without
You can
broth.
eat noodles without soup, without broth.
Hold on, did you just give the example of meatballs? Like, how often are you eating meatball soup? Like, you guys don't eat meatball soup. It's meatballs and it's like a thick red broth and you pour it on top of noodles. That's meatball soup. That's what you guys don't call that? You get a plate of spaghetti noodles. You get that thick ragu broth, put a bunch of meatballs in it, dump it on there, you got meatball soup. That's what we call that, right? Meatball soup. That's where you went. Well, I'll tell you a soup that doesn't have no grains in it. Meatball, the American staple, meatball soup. Campbell's, you just sell it out of their cans of meatball soup. Not a grain to be seen. Tell you destroyed your case. I'm sorry, Liz. Did you say it was a soup or not a soup?
Just not a soup. If you blended it, it would become a soup.
That's a smoothie. That's a smoothie, Liz.
Actually, you're right. You're right. I stand corrected. I am someone who learns and grows and who can change my mind. You're right. That would be a cereal smoothie. Or cereal. Oh, what's the name of there's like a specific name. It's like
So are we saying it's not a
Gazpacho.
soup because
Yeah.
soups need to have a broth that is not milk?
Stock. Yeah.
It needs to be like some sort of cooked broth.
I
to
think
make
boiling
it a soup.
is usually involved in a soup. Gazpacho aside, I feel like there usually needs to be some sort of like
Even
I don't think you
cold-
can just put something in broth and say it's a soup now, right?
Well, even cold soups have to be cooked at some point. Some of the ingredients need to be prepared, right? So, like, I think we're saying it's not a soup.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I disagree, and I think Tyler's opinion is disqualified because the example he gave to back up his is meatball soup, and
You
literally
come
no
down,
one's
you come
been
down to
like,
Nashville anytime. I'll make you the best meatball soup. It's going to change your life. You're going to go
Yeah,
back. You're going to go back to Loveland, Virginia. You're going to go grocery store. You're going to buy yourself up frozen meatballs, and it's the last thing you're going to eat for the rest of the
I'm
year.
just under the weather. I got a sore throat. I just need a warm bowl of meatball soup. That'll really get my.
All right.
this cold.
The Twitter handle Pragmatic Christian wrote in.
no,
asked,
no.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this.
What mistake or seeming failure turned out to be a blessing in disguise, taught you the most, or led to better opportunities?
Oh, I
personal.
I
Dead
have
chickens.
one. I have one. I created this recipe one time for a very unique product, and I pitched it to Campbell's Soup.
Yeah.
And they laughed at me, and it was humiliating. And I thought, at least no one else will come up with a dumb idea for meatball soup. And today, someone else did, and that taught me a lot. So, meatball soup.
And that taught me a lot. That was inspiring.
Julie wrote in and asked, I want to travel, but I likely will have to go it solo. What are some fun places for a female traveler to visit, and what are some tips to stay safe?
Oh my
Pick the right
gosh, I
podcast.
love this question because what's her name? Julie?
Julie, yeah.
I am so passionate about solo travel, Julie, and the
Really?
whole world is great for the most part. Yes, I love traveling in general. I love traveling with people that I love. I have learned more about myself though, traveling solo because I find myself to be more awake to the world when I'm by myself because I don't have these like kind of comfort
but don't
crutches
you wanna,
like right next to me.
Don't you want to share the experience with someone? You know, like, hey, look at that thing, and you have a person who also, you know, and then it's just really you'd rather
I wouldn't rather. They're both so important to me. If you took either away, it would be devastating. But they do play really different roles, and so many people don't travel by themselves. Like, you're so much more open to kind of interesting experiences and follow. At least I find myself that it's like I'll strike up a conversation with somebody who is a stranger that I never would have if I was there with my best friend or my, because it would be like, oh, I'm there to spend time with them as well. So they're both incredibly valuable, but I meet a lot more people who travel with people that they love who have never solo traveled. And so I just think it's so important and I love it so much. And Julie, just call me. We'll talk about all the things and I'll tell you where to go. And as far as being safe, it's just like be self-aware and have general common sense. But it's,
there you go.
I have found the world to be a much less scary place than most Americans think it is.
And you're getting ready to go back to Uganda soon, right, Liz?
Yeah, I leave in like 4 days, 5 days.
So when you travel solo, though, like, because 99% of my travel is solo, but I'm usually going to a place where I'm meeting people that I know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to Morocco, but I'm going there for a thing where there's other people at the thing, and I'm not like going to Morocco by myself. You know what I mean? Like, are you talking like when you travel, you're traveling for like vacation by yourself, or are you talking like you're going to Uganda, you're going to do some things and you're going back, by yourself?
It's usually like work related, but I have had a lot of work related travel where I've literally showed up in a country and not known someone yet. So it's like not, I'm going to be with these people that I know. It's like, I'm going to discover what's there and like, is there possibility? And so,
I've done that too. Like I landed in Rwanda. First time I went to Rwanda, hoping that the person who via email invited me to come was going to be sending somebody to get me. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know anybody when I landed, and I'm same thing. But you are going to meet with people. You're not just like going to Rwanda by yourself and then you come home by yourself, and like you won't enter. You're going to meet a group or people or whatever and do a work, right?
Yes, but a lot of times it's like, of course people are apart. Like I've never been to a country where I just didn't have a conversation with anybody, but like, I don't necessarily know who they are yet. It's like, I'm just going to explore or like I'll tack on a couple extra days if I'm going somewhere for work to just be completely unplanned. What does God have for me? I'm like very big. I have this thing called, I go miracle hunting. And so I'll just like wake up and be like, okay, here's the thing. Like there's something gold. And it's usually assuming it's going to be in a conversation or a person, but I have no idea like who they are, what it is. But I have found that it like just, I love miracle hunting when I'm traveling by myself because it's like the soundtrack just starts playing in the back of my mind. And it's like, once you like start looking for that and you expect that it's going to happen, it's very magical.
Wow.
That is cool. That is very inspiring.
Miracle hunting, vigilante vandalism, and miracle hunting.
I am so weird. And now
you're making me feel bad for like my solo travel because you're going miracle hunting. I'm like, what's a churro? I've never had one of them. This country, what an exotic place. It has meatball soup. I will pop in here. And Liz is miracle hunting. Yeah.
Ian asks, what's the difference? What's the difference between moist and damp?
Oh, no. Why?
Moist and damp.
Moist and damp.
Nuanced.
I think damp is wetter, don't you?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think damp is more like if I have like a jacket and there are beads of water on the outside, like that's damp. If I'm wearing like a hoodie and it was raining and absorbed in the fabric, that's more of kind of a moist situation. It's tomato. I think here's the thing: if you're eating a nice big bowl of meatball soup, you don't mind if the meatballs are damp in sauce, but you don't want them moist in sauce.
Yes, you do. So here's what I think the difference between moist and damp is. I believe it is the same thing physically, but it is a positive or negative association with it.
Yeah.
Like cake is moist, basements are damp. So
I
it's
can
like,
see
are
that.
you is it like a benefit to the object that it has a certain water content, or is it negative? And if it's positive, then it's moist. If it's negative, it's damp.
Like damp has a mustiness. Like like you got to clean this thing.
But I think damp is more of a it's more of a general descriptor too. Like a basement can be damp, right? But a basement can't be moist. Right?
Unless you were to eat the basement, then it could be moist. Yeah,
so
agree.
maybe damp is
Good
on the
point.
surface of an object and moist is
within it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. Hard-hitting question.
It's an
No, because towels can be damp. But
true.
it's negative. No
Towels
one
can
wants
be
a damp
damp.
towel.
Yeah.
Tell me something where you would say it's damp and you're like, oh, dang, yes, I was hoping for that.
Yeah, it's true, because I would be like, man, this this grilled chicken is very moist. I wouldn't be like, this grilled chicken is very damp.
It's damp.
Like, that's like, did you leave it in the rain? Like, why is my chicken damp? Yeah, no, I agree. It's a nuanced.
All right,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
We'll close on this one. Taylor is asking for some travel advice as well. So I'm taking a road trip in a month. How can I make my drive more interesting? The driving part, the long parts.
Limitless.
I mean, you want to see how long you can go with your eyes closed for a single. I've gone 18 seconds.
Pick up every
18
hitchhiker.
seconds.
Pick up every hitchhiker. No.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Pick up hitchhikers.
Oh.
It's like basically, I mean, it's so funny to me that it's like we are moving. It's like, oh my gosh, we did hitchhiking in the 60s. That was so dangerous. And now we literally just do the same thing, but we pay for it.
Yeah.
It's called Uber.
Uber. Yeah.
I do think, inviting random people in your car and talking to them is very important. Like we talked about this on the podcast. I talk to every Uber driver and they always have great stories. I heard a great story from an Uber driver the other day. He was telling me about his life, and he has lived a fascinating life. And he worked for a nightclub in Miami at one point. And he started as the cook, and he worked his way up to the nightclub owner. Then he got out of the nightclub business because he's like, I got shot 8 times. I'm like, what? And he's like, with an Uzi like Rambo uses.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah, you never know what
That's
kind of you when you're going to sit in the car with Scarface and have him regale you with cool stories from running nightclubs in Miami in the 1980s. Now he's driving around. We got Miami Vice here driving around an Uber, and no one knows his great stories because no one's taking the time to talk to him. Talk to random strangers. That's I don't think that qualifies as miracle hunting, but I like the conversation.
No, it does. That's how it starts, Jesse. It always starts with that. It really does. 90% of the miracles come from conversations with people that you're just awake. You believe they have the miracle for you. So for that example, it was this really fascinating, crazy story. That's the miracle. Oh. You went miracle hunting.
So Liz, you're an extrovert, right?
No, I'm actually an introvert.
So when
no one believes me.
When you travel by yourself and you're an introvert, you engage people in conversation, or you're just open to engaging them if they initiate? Do you initiate?
Both. Yeah. Yeah, I have to push myself too. No one believes that I'm an introvert, but it takes I have what I refer to as pre-social anxiety. It's once I'm in the social situation, it's usually fine. I'm tired by the end of it, but I have major anxiety leading up to social. I have to pump myself up to go into social situations.
Yeah.
But I also find that one-on-one conversations, I actually hate parties. I really dislike parties, but talking one-on-one with a stranger in a gas station coffee shop is much more energizing to me.
Follow-up question. How do you pump yourself up to go to a social situation? What's your routine? What's the plan?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Why am I? You guys have truth serum for me. Why am I telling you all of my things?
Let's hear it.
Here's what I do. I listen to the Last of the Mohican soundtrack.
Did not see that one. I love it. I love it.
That clearly will be the closing song for the podcast today.
I was going to say,
you guys, I am serious. If you have never done this in your life before, if there is any challenge ahead of you, if there's anything that feels daunting, put on the Last of the Mohican soundtrack. It's beautiful. It's inspiring. Yeah. And I have actually never even seen the movie. I only listen. I don't even know what the movie is. I just listen to the soundtrack, and it makes your life feel like a movie, and it's so epic, and you will feel like you can do anything. I listen listen to it like through both of my labors. I listen to it before I have to go into a party. All the things.
Yeah.
It's a great it's a great movie, Liz.
Yeah.
Maybe you should watch
if you're ever looking for movie night.
Yeah, I mean,
but here's the thing: then it will be associated with the movie. To me,
actually.
I kind of like that it's just kind of become my like
your soundtrack.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like it means something to me now.
Yeah,
that is interesting.
It's the same thing. Listen, I mean, I can't tell you how many times Dana's come home. I'm wearing blue face paint and I am screaming to the Braveheart soundtrack. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I have a social event I have to go to." Getting pumped up, and I like it, Liz.
Movie scores are very underrated. Like if you look on my Spotify and my iTunes is like basically all John Williams. It's just we underestimate. I just think movie scores I'd say 90% of the music that I listen to are movie scores.
Wow.
Interesting.
So you would say that one thing Julie could do to help make her drive more interesting is play that Last of the Mohicans soundtrack, and instead of just she's not on a road trip anymore, she's on an epic quest to go.
She's on a quest. 100%. Yep. It will transform her ho-hum commute into a quest, into an adventure.
Life would feel more epic if we had a movie soundtrack playing. I'm picturing this now because like that clip we played in the hot list of the coach praying, whoever made the clip put kind of epic music in the background and it made the prayer even more epic, know? So it's like,
that's true.
If she's driving,
good point.
If she's driving,
Lord of the Rings, Last of the Mohicans, The Truman Show is a really good one. Surprisingly, The Truman Show soundtrack is amazing. It's just
Shaft.
but no, Liz, you're giving me an idea, especially Cameron, where you're talking about the locker room prayer that they put the music to.
Yeah,
is why don't sermons have soundtracks? Like
hold on. In charismatic churches, dude, that last quarter of the sermon, that keyboard player has come out.
Well, okay, but that's the thing. They wait until they're like, "Can I have the band come back up, please? Just play something soft behind me, guys. Just kind of vamp for a minute, And they, they're just getting ready for the altar call.
Yeah.
I like Liz's idea. We're right from the very beginning. I see the lights on the stage go and just a single spotlight on the pulpit. It's like dun 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 dun. And then the pastor comes out, everyone starts going crazy. And then, there's all these emotional highs and lows of the sermon. Then that's when you do the altar call, like trying to get the band to prep to warm up the every head bow, every eye closed moment.
Yeah. Right.
You're really cutting yourself
You're
short.
saying go all the way in. Yeah.
I'm saying get these epic soundtracks going through the whole sermon. Really play people's emotions here.
It's a
so
good
don't
idea.
bring the keyboard player out. Bring a string section out.
Bring Hans Zimmer out.
Our worship leader today is Hans
Everyone
Zimmer.
needs a tiny Hans Zimmer in their pocket.
Listen. If I could get the acoustic guitar player, the keyboard player, and Hans Zimmer to just hop up on stage for a minute, we're going to close out. And now I'm going to ask for every head bow, every eye closed. I'm going to need everyone back in the orchestra pit too. Because, prayer team, or can you come up to the altar? There's going to be people up here, everyone. Yeah.
Well, thanks for everybody who sent in questions for the cast this week. There's a lot more, and we will do this again. It's a lot of fun. To wrap things up, I want to thank Squarespace for making the episode possible. Remember, go to squarespace.com/relevant for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your website, use the offer code RELEVANT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Also, thanks to Taraji P. Henson for joining us. You heard it, Tyler Daswick, full recommendation. Go check out her brand new movie. Comes out today. It's called The Best of Enemies. True story. It's really a powerful true story. It's coming out today. Go check it out. Hey, have you gotten your official Relevant podcast mug yet? Head over to relevantmagazine.com/store to pick up your favorite, plus some other weird stuff and merchandise. We are adding new products to the Relevant store. Go check it out. There's a lot of fan gear and other stuff. And plus every issue of Relevant Magazine is there. So go check it out at relevantmagazine.com/store. Also, hey, if you like the podcast, head over to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and leave a review and rate it. We are like 2 votes away from a full 5-star rating. So go check that out.
Do the right thing over there.
Yeah, do the right thing.
Give us those 5 stars we deserve.
And while you're there, check out our other 2 new podcasts. Relevant Daily has launched in the last few weeks. Subscribe to Relevant Daily. It's 10 minutes long, give or take. It's every day, every weekday, and it's the stories you need to know at the intersection of faith and culture. These guys bring the goods every weekday on Relevant Daily. Go check it out. And also Unedited with Cameron Strang. Right now, the new episode has Abner from Johnny Swim on it. It's an awesome conversation. He talks about his faith. He talks about pursuing Amanda, and over the years, he talks about the importance of community. He talks about what Chip and Joe are like in real life. It's totally unedited. And about halfway through the show, or halfway through the conversation, he goes, "You're going to edit this, right?" And I laughed at him and said, "Nope."
It's still in there.
I've had that same feeling about 19 times in the last 90 minutes.
Well, on that note, actually, thanks a lot for joining us, Liz. That was a lot of fun. We got to know you at a level I did not expect. It is.
Yeah, you and me both. So full of surprises.
Keep your eye out for her new podcast that's in the works, and also her book that comes out this fall. And check out their amazing stuff at Seiko Designs. You won't be disappointed. No chickens were harmed in the making of any of their products.
We are chicken free at this point in our company's evolution. I'm so proud to say.
They will not come near
at this point.
Currently, we are chicken free. On that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Tyler Huckabee.
I'm Liz Forkin Bohannon.
We will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
You guys don't eat meatball soup. It's meatballs, and it's like a thick red broth, and you pour it on top of noodles. That's meatball soup. That's what you guys don't call that?
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.